The sun, and I believe you're going to show the video, recently had some very, very strange activity occur, and these orbs approached our star, deposited what looked like very long appendages into the sun, and
Yes.
began to interact with it, which is fascinating, you know, for us as a species that depends upon it so, you know, totally. So.
It's really shocking. The visual images were shocking. It was almost like sticking a straw in and sucking energy out of the sun.
Produce something like that that can interact with a star on that kind of a level is beyond anything that most of us can imagine. And what's fascinating is right before this occurrence happened recently, and in 2012, right at the time of the Mayan prophecy of there being an end to this current society, you also had one of these orbs show up, interact with the sun. This was all occurring at a time when you could literally get onto spaceweather.com
right.
and watch
yes.
these huge X flares beginning to form and cause a real concern for life on this planet. And all of a sudden, you have these orbs show up. They put these appendages down into the sun, they interact with our star, they shoot off into space at such a velocity that it left us just awestruck. And then the sun goes completely quiet. As quiet as a church mouse. After
yeah, because it almost seems like...
And
electronics in general.
Yeah, electronics in general. And what's really concerning is that at about the same time that the Dames group was coming out with their kill shot prediction, we clearly picked up elements of our government who were paying attention to that and who had begun to prepare for that exact event taking place. And I'm talking about the Department of Homeland Security purchasing billions of rounds of ammunition at that exact moment.
Well, and the increase in underground bases. And
right. These were people that were paying attention to what their CIA-trained remote viewers were telling them, and were beginning to prepare clandestinely for that exact event to occur. And that's when these orbs showed up.
Right, I was just going to say,
and began to interact with the star. And it was clear. Now, the WebBot, Cliff High's WebBot, at this exact moment in time, also detected something very, very strange, and he equated it with what must have been a time traveler.
We should explain this.
Yeah, being interjected into this system. And this
when you're saying at this time right now?
Right, at that same moment in time. And this was back in 2012.
Right, okay.
They also detected something very strange occurring, because the WebBot was also predicting what was being called the global coastal event. This was going to be an event that wiped out the coastlines around the world. Didn't happen. So you had the Mayan prophecy, the WebBot, at Dames Group, the Department of Homeland Security, all pointing in the same direction. At the time you had these orbs show up, interact with our star, and all of a sudden that all just goes away. And
so now, isn't that kind of reassuring?
It is, because this is clearly, we're dealing with a benevolence of some kind. And these are creatures who understood the peril we were in and came, and now our timeline has been altered. And where we go from here, we don't know.